Just trust me on this one. Hey, it's Cameron with the Atlas Strength Shop. We are back with another video, and today we are going to review another one of the many pieces of equipment that we have here in the Atlas Strength Shop. That is going to be the Titan Lat Pull Down / Low Row. This was, I think, the first piece of equipment that we purchased after our initial opening, back when we were still in 1,000 square feet. We're going to talk about the good, we're going to talk about the bad, we're going to talk about the horror story it was getting the complete machine. Stay tuned. So back in November of 2018, about a month after opening, I was visiting family in Orlando. And I had blown through all of my money actually opening Atlas. That is when Titan dropped this. Literally after I made my first big purchase, they dropped this machine. It was the very first run that they ever did. I'm broke. I scrambled. I wound up getting enough money from family members to actually purchase this thing. It was only $999 at the time. It is much more expensive now. But at the time, it was really, really inexpensive. Couldn't pass it up, figured out a way to get it, and it showed up while I was at Disney World. When I got home, I started putting it together. Putting it together was fairly simple. This was the most complicated piece of equipment I had ever assembled at the time, but it only took me a few hours to do. The instructions were great. Didn't have any problem with that. The problem that I did have, they didn't send me all the parts, which if you remember back in the early days of Titan Fitness, that was a huge problem. The part that I was missing was this piece right here. Pull it out of here. It was the actual piece that holds your legs down when you're using it. So I get in touch with Titan, and they said, okay, no problem. We're going to send you the box that that piece comes in, and you'll be able to get that piece. A few weeks go by, nothing. I get in touch with them again, and they say, well, they're actually sold out. So it's going to be a little bit before we can actually get you the part. Cool, it's not ideal, but what am I gonna do? So I see that it comes back in stock. I get in touch with them again and say, hey, here's my email thread. I'm supposed to get this piece. They send out another box. I open the box and it's not in there. I reach out to them again. I'm like, hey, you sent the wrong box. They send another box. Again, they send the same box that they just sent. Come to find out, the boxes are mislabeled in their system, and what's supposed to be in box 2 is actually in box 3, and it was just a complete shit show. So they wound up sending me the box with this piece down here with the foot plate, which is in 2 separate pieces. It's not ideal, but it is what it is. Well, again, what am I going to do? Because they're sold out again. So what I wound up doing is I went to Home Depot and I got this piece of black pipe right here. And then I took the extra piece that came out of the bottom, I drilled a hole through the back pipe, and I just bolted everything together, and that's how we rolled for years. Until eventually one of our members who's a welder welded this piece together. I have never heard of anybody else who ordered this piece having the same issue, but I did. Everyone else seemed to not have a problem, and they put the machine together, and it was great. So other than that, this machine is an absolute tank. It takes like 3 of us to move this most of the time, unless we've actually perfected a way of moving it with a furniture dolly, so we can do it with 2 now, but we all feel much better when we have at least 3 people. It has a weight stack with 30 plates on it. It says 300. We're gonna find out today if that is a true 300 or not, because I got those scales from my previous video. It's got the high pulley up here for lat pull. It's got a low pulley down here for cable rows. If you have an extender, like if you get a chain, you can do tricep extensions, you can do bicep curls. We have a machine for that, so we don't, but it's possible to do. But the coolest thing about this machine, in my opinion, is it also has band pegs. So you can actually add band tension to the weight stack, which you can do all kinds of things with that. So we're gonna go over how to set that up as well. But all in all, this machine is pretty cool. It's lasted us for 4 years now. Haven't had any issues with it. Haven't needed to do any kind of big maintenance to it. My one gripe was they mislabeled their boxes and I didn't get this piece. We had to rig something up. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set this on 100. We're gonna put a scale in between here and we're going to see what the actual ratio of pull weight to stack weight is. So right now, supposedly it is set to 100 pounds. We're going to see if that is true to weight. I have an attachment that I actually got from Walmart.com. They're copies of the mag grips, if you remember those. They're off-brand, but they work great. This is not the handle that it came with. In fact, this is the handle that it came with right here. I just personally don't like these. A lot of people love them. I'm not one of those people. So I'm gonna spin around. We've got it set, we've got it zeroed out. Let's see if it's actually 100 pounds. Okay, it is reading at 85.9 pounds. So that would put it at roughly 90% of what it actually says. Let's see if that stays the case. I'm gonna move it down to 200. I'm gonna give it a quick pull. If it's true the entire way, then it should say roughly about 180. Let's see. 173, so not quite. So it's not quite a 1-to-1 ratio of what it says on the weight stack versus what is actually in hand. But that brings up another point. Anytime you use a machine that has a weight stack like this, keep in mind they all have pretty much the same weight stack, but they all use completely different pulley systems. So if you don't have access to one of these cool little scales like I do, then just use it as a reference number of that machine and that machine alone. This is going to be different than a Rogue version. It's going to be different than a hammer strength version because they all use different pulley systems. So just use it as a reference point, write that down in your notes. Don't get wrapped up around how much weight you actually moved when it comes to machines. Let's see if it's the same tension when we do a low row. All right, now I have it set down on this low row. Like I said, different pulley systems. I will be shocked if it keeps that same tension. I have it put on 100 pounds on the machine again. Let's see what it weighs. Don't really have a lot of range of motion here, but okay. That's much, much closer. I'm gonna pull it one more time just to make sure. That says 97.8 pounds. So the low row is way more accurate so far. I'm gonna set it to 200 and see how that looks. I guess you need longer legs to test this or something. All right. I can't actually read it at that angle. How am I gonna do this where I can read it? Just gonna do my best. This damn glare, maybe if I turn it that way. No, it just straightens out. 196. It's pretty much 1-to-1 for the low row. It's just really hard to read the angle on that. So have somebody else read it if you want to test it out with your own machine like this. Now I'm going to show you all how to add band tension and why that's cool. So the biggest thing when you're adding band tension to this machine is you have to make sure you put equal band tension from one side to the other. That means you have to use the same band and you have to apply it the same exact way. And the reason why is there's a pin that runs through this weight stack. And if you have band tension on only one side, it's going to tilt that pin on the way down and it's not gonna go through the plates and it's just gonna jam you up. So the way I have found to do that that's best, so like you see, this band is too long for here, is you make an X, then you just bring that X down and you wrap at the bottom. Now it's not real tight, but it's tight enough. Now I'll show you what that looks like. Went ahead and took my dial off. I've got 100 pounds of weight and then however much band tension that is. I don't know, I don't really care. I just want you to see the band tension in action. What's cool about this is as I pull through the range of motion, it gets heavier towards the top. All in all, I'm really glad that I purchased this piece of equipment. It has been a game changer for all of our back work, especially when we're doing hypertrophy. Speaking of hypertrophy, we've got a program available on the website, so go check that out if you need a hypertrophy program. But If you have a personal training studio, a warehouse type gym like we do, even if you just have a garage gym and you've got some space, this thing, it's a game changer. You can do lat pulls, you can do cable rows. If you extend it with a chain, you can do tricep extensions, you can do bicep curls. We did a lot of things with this back when we had very little space, and it was incredible. Even at the increased price, I think they're selling it for about $1,800 now. I still think it is more than worth the price. It is less expensive than all their competitors, and we have beat the crap out of this thing. You're not gonna break this, I promise. It is worth the money. Definitely check it out. Even despite the shipping issues I had with Titan originally, that was 4 years ago. They've ironed a lot of things out since then. I think it's a good buy. So that's it for the video. If you like this video, then please like it and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out a ton. If you're in the Baton Rouge area and you'd like to come see us, maybe make the Atlas Strength Shop your home gym, then by all means, shoot me a message on Instagram. We'll see what we can do to make that happen. If you're not in the Baton Rouge area and you still like to support us, best way to do that is to check out our programs that are available on the website or check out our apparel line. We designed it all ourselves. The apparel line is awesome. Hopefully you like it too. Till next time, keep that Titan